Welcome to the Cool Reviews. Step into the scene where the voices stay loud and the vibes stay clean. Talking sports, love, life, what's making the news. If it's happening right now, it's on the Cool Reviews. Welcome to the Cool Reviews. Yeah, we bringing the truth from the streets to the screen, giving game to the youth. Every story, every take, every win, every bruise. Come and vibe with the world on the Cool Reviews. Welcome to the Cool Reviews. Yeah, the mic stay live, where the real conversations help the culture survive. From the sideline talk and down the wins and losses and the post-game views. He be out with the people, asking questions they feel. From relationships to sports, keep it honest and real. One day it's the finals, next day love advice. Then it's politics talk, giving different insight. In the city where the stories and the energy connect. Every voice got a chance, every story get respect. Laughs and debates, yeah, the dialogue strong. If it's trending in the world, it's part of the song. Welcome to the Cool Reviews. Step into the scene where the voices stay loud and the vibes stay clean. Talking sports, love, life, what's making the news. If it's happening.
We are live. We are live. The Cool Reviews. The cool. Oh man.
We back. We back at it.
Yes, sir. We are back. What's good? What's good? Hopefully y'all week been good so far.
Yes, sir.
What y'all got going, man? How y'all week been so far?
No issue. Been good. Been good. We here. Made it
Yeah.
here.
Hell yeah. Shoot, man. I heard people was talking about the state of the unions, but some people say they was
Yeah, I'm probably one of those people. You got the cricket right. I'm probably one of those people.
Hey man, they gonna be mad when when Jasmine Crockett dropped that. Hey, after the election over with and
Yeah,
she lose, boy, they
yeah,
gonna be mad, man. They gonna drop
I
that
don't,
bomb
I don't
on her,
think that's
man.
gonna happen. I don't think she gonna make it to the top.
Bruh.
They're going to
That's just like uh for some reason delusional Democrats thought that Kamala Harris had a chance. And I was like, ain't no way on God's green earth. And
I
I
knew that
told
was
people, I said, man, she gonna get smoked. And they was like, no, man, she gonna win it. I
I'm gonna
said,
be
bro, yeah, go ahead.
no. Go ahead, cool. Go ahead.
Nah, I just told people, I like, bro, it's not even gonna be close. I like Kamala gonna get smoked. And then
I'm gonna
people
be
was like, no,
yeah.
she ain't. I was like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think she would win. I didn't think she would win. I didn't think that at all. But I didn't think she would get beat as bad as she got beat, though. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to admit that I didn't think she was gonna get beat that bad. But I knew she was gonna get beat, but not like she got beat.
man, look, dog.
She only
One
got
thing,
beat because y'all didn't.
who didn't vote? Go ahead and tell them.
She only got beat because y'all didn't vote like a black woman. Didn't Roland Martin tell y'all to vote like a black woman?
Yeah, I knew she would go. I knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Y'all didn't listen to Roland Martin. He said vote like a black woman.
I pay no attention to
Rolly the
Roland.
Boule bird.
I was done with Roland Martin when I watch him let Tiffany Henry get on his show and just do him any kind of way she wanted to do him, just sit there and tell a bunch of lies, and he didn't challenge him on it. I'm like, I'm okay. So you cherry picking. Let
Man,
Tiffany Henry come on your show and just go crazy on you.
for one thing, black men ain't gonna vote for Jasmine Crockett in mass. White men ain't gonna vote for Jasmine Crockett in mass. And white women ain't gonna vote for Jasmine
Nah,
Crockett. So how is she gonna win? Who gonna vote for her? It ain't enough sisters for her to win.
I don't
she
know.
gonna.
It might be enough. It might be enough Roland Martins and Ricky Smileys and D.L. Hughley's.
She ain't gonna win. She ain't gonna win. That ain't gonna happen.
Nah,
That ain't
Jasmine
gonna happen.
smoke.
We
And she
going through past that. That's
holler at me though
definitely.
after the election over with. She can holler at me. I'll tell her I voted for her. 'Cause she look alright, dog. Sorry, I take her to Applebee's.
Take it to Applebee's.
Yeah, I'll take her to Outback. You know, maybe something nice like Texas Roadhouse. You know,
Yeah, she ain't gonna win. I think it's over for Jasmine.
yeah, I hit her line. Be like, hello, hello. Yeah, dog.
No, but I didn't. I watched bits and pieces of it, so I didn't watch enough of it to really dissect it or look at it to kind of look at what he said or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but is that what we gonna do tonight? We gonna talk about the State of the Union, or you know,
Hey,
Yeah,
what title you
huh?
gotta change the title. You gotta change the title.
I
You
think
got Russian man go wild on African woman.
Russian man went wild. I'm telling you what I've been looking at. That situation over in Mexico, boy, that's crazy.
yeah, I can't change the title until we get done, and I put up a then I could change the title and put up a thumbnail. But yeah, I
Yeah,
would have
because
had
when I share this right now, they're gonna be like, "What?"
to. Good. Hey, but did you hear about that Russian dude that went over to Africa and went crazy?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, this Russian dude went over to Africa and boned over 300 African women on like quick. And he was
What?
doing what he did was he was taking videos of him just walking up to Russian women and then shooting him his shot, and they was going. Some of the
African women.
Russian African women, hey, some of them was married,
Oh wow.
and one African woman, take me to your country, take me, let me go. Like all them African women was just, bruh, they was going quick and easy, hot and ready.
Where were they at? Where
That's
what countries were they in over there?
Man, I don't remember exactly what country they was in Africa, but wherever the countries was, them women was, whew, they was thirsty.
Hmm.
And they were like Little Caesars. They was hot and ready.
No, I ain't know about that. I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah, of course. You know the sisterhood gonna keep that on the low. You know. Now, if it was some passport bro stuff, man, it'd have been all over the shade room and all of that. But yeah, it was, you know, just like that white dude out in Vegas that gave almost 1,000 black women HIV.
Yeah, I kind of vaguely heard about that.
Yeah, you ain't gonna see that on the shade room neither. But yeah, it was a white dude. He was a DJ. He was a popular DJ
DJ,
in
yeah,
Vegas. Gave
yeah,
over 1,000 women HIV.
he was
what you trying to
DJing.
say about the shade room? Bro?
Huh?
What you trying to say about the shade room?
Man, the shade room is anti-blackmail. It's
Oh,
shady as hell. They do not. I, that is a misandrous blog.
I ain't never been on there before.
I ain't
Yeah, they
neither.
misandrous.
I ain't never been on there.
Yeah, the shade room super
I ain't never
misandrous.
been on the shade room.
So man, maybe I'll
Sean, my
pop the
wife said
balloon.
don't sound like you need to go.
Huh?
My wife said don't sound like he need to go on there.
Oh, on the shade room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never been on there.
No, shoot. You know, it's probably ran by Africans. Cause man, that's the thing, man. A lot of these blogs that really exploit the black community, they most of the time been ran by Africans.
Like Africans over in Africa or African Americans in America.
Not American Africans. I'm talking about African Africans.
Oh, okay.
Shoot, just but they know how to exploit us. Hell, I was a part of it. Shit, I went on Pop the Balloons. Hell, that's ran by Africans. I'm like, shit. You know what? I'm gonna do my own. Hell,
I'm gonna do my own, create my own pop the
I'm
balloon.
gonna create my own. And now, uh, I got access to a studio now out here in Arlington. So now, shit, I can record like a mother. So
Yeah.
anybody need a studio to do photography, recording, I got access to one in Arlington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pop the balloon.
Oh,
Nah, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't particularly watch the State of the Union address.
well, after you get a State of the Union, the opposite party always have their little response
Yeah, they rebuttal.
ceremony. So
Who gave the rebuttal?
the Virginia governor, white lady, Virginia governor.
Okay.
You know, I thought about something. I kind of watched a little bit, but I didn't watch it. I was looking at it, but I didn't look at it. But you know what was just profound to me? I kept noticing the JD Vance and Mark Johnson in the background. And I've always consistently said the three most unethical professions in America right now as we speak are politicians, lawyers, and clergymen.
Damn, clergyman?
Oh yeah, they look, and I'm gonna explain why I say that. Number one is we've had 45 presidents, right? 45. How many of them you think have been lawyers? Just throw a number out there.
30?
What you think, Jason? Just throw a number.
How many of them was lawyers? Why about half of them?
You 26, almost a little over half. A little over half of them have been lawyers. I didn't know how. I knew a lot of them have been lawyers, but I didn't know it was over half of them had been lawyers. I was looking at that. I looked at that last night, and I looked at JD Vance and Mark Jackson. Those guys were lawyers before they in the positions they're in right now. And I say that to say they're more ethical. Those three professions to me are the most unethical. Not illegal. Not they don't break the laws. They're just unethical, and their morals ain't to a high standard. And I say that because number one, presidents, lawyers know the laws. Lawyers know the rules. They know the laws, so they know how to manipulate to find the loopholes, whatever. Presidents help create the laws. And for clergymen, I say that because there is no other profession in America where that much money is funneled through your hands legally and there's no government oversight. They're protected by the Constitution. That is the only profession in America where you just at liberty when it comes to money, have it your way. So that's why when you say clergyman, that's why I say clergyman cool review.
Okay, I get it.
You know, but it's just profound to me that the politicians are Lord. A lot of I ain't gonna say most. A lot of politicians they have a some form of background, like some form of background in law. A lot of them, not all. 55 over 50% of them. I just found that profound.
Y'all see that thing y'all see that thing in New York City where the police got bombed by snowballs?
Nah, I didn't see that.
It said Mondani downplays attack on NYPD.
No, I didn't say that. You know what? We gonna have to touch it. You know what
Oh,
I
they
would.
weren't just snowball, they were speaking in some rocks.
Oh wow. But you know what we need to touch on, not tonight, but in the future? I think we need to touch on these sanctuary cities. We didn't touch on these sanctuary cities. And now, of course, not tonight, but got to put that on the radar. Talk about that.
Yeah, they out of control.
But
What y'all think about the Democrats not standing for the families of those victims last night?
I, I don't agree with it. I understand, but I don't agree with it. I mean,
I don't
that's
even
such
understand.
that's at some point you for certain things, political lines have to be. There shouldn't be no line, just to make a
Right.
point. So, I understand you trying to show your affiliation and where you stand with your affiliation. I understand that perspective of it, but I don't necessarily agree.
Okay. Like the one with the little girl, they got her
On the
family.
sub
She was
on
in
the
a car.
subway. Oh yeah.
No, the one that got hit by the one on Subway too. They didn't stand for her family either.
Nah, it's definitely no. Yeah,
Yeah, the one on the little girl, the 5-year-old girl that got hit by the trucker,
yeah, I saw that.
and she's trying to learn how to walk again and all that kind of stuff.
I
And
saw
they
that.
said their family's here, and we got to. He was saying that we got to pass a law where you can't give illegal immigrants commercial driver license, right? And then they said the little girl here that got hit by one that was driving, and he was illegal, and she almost lost her life. And then they're here with the family today, and she's made a pretty much pretty good recovery so far, and she's here with us today. Can y'all please stand, right? Everybody stood up and clapped for her recovery, how far she's made it. She didn't die. She's starting to know how to walk again. Them people did not stand up, bro. They did not clap.
Well, I mean, like I said, I understand. I don't agree with it. And like I said,
I
I
don't know.
understand you trying to show your alliance, your allegiance to your party
No,
platform, but
it's just ridiculous.
yeah.
Hey,
But
well, I found the video. I'm gonna play this video right quick, and it's from last night.
Al Green,
Not not Al Green.
that's him right there. He holding that
yeah, he
sign. You
got
see
put
that in the
out. They
back?
put him out. They put Al Green out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm just talking about the single.
Nah. That Al Green, him right
The
there.
guy
He
right
got put out. Al Green got put
politician.
out.
Okay.
He was in there for 4 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta get this out of here, dog.
Right there. That's Al Green holding the sign right there. Right there.
Just the top 5 moments from the
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why
he
I'm
called him
also
out on that.
asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and
Them
enact
sanctuary
serious
cities.
penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Let's also ensure that
Y'all want to pause
members
it
of
right there and
Congress
address that?
cannot corruptly profit from using insider.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. Pause there.
Okay, hold on.
They stood up for that. I can't corruptly profit from using insider information.
Yeah, that's another one. Hold on.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Are you going to just
Did
run it
Nancy
out first?
Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it.
He's
Oh,
he killed it.
Nancy Pelosi wasn't there?
She was
No.
there.
Oh,
She,
No, she was there. I said it.
nah, I'm talking about nah, she ain't gonna stand up.
Yeah, she ain't standing up.
All that money she done made off the insider trading. Oh, my fault. She ain't insider trading. I can't say that. But she done became a multi millionaire off of stocks and stuff.
well, they got to do something while they in office.
But they got a law, the Pelosi law. I think it's on the table, or I don't know if it's passed yet, but they created a whole law for her and her, speculation of insider trading. I mean, they haven't charged her, but I mean, it's just odd the way she's made all that money off of stock. So they got a thing called the Pelosi law. I don't know if it's actually been passed into legislation or is still going through the
It ain't
process
been
of
passed
becoming a
yet.
law.
That's why he was talking about it. He's talking about
Uh,
that, but they need to go on and pass it. It
yeah,
ain't been
they
passed yet because that's what he was saying. And he said they need to go on and pass it.
yeah, they ain't gonna get that thing, So, but that's been on the table. That's been on the table for a while.
All right, let's address these 5 things. Okay, you got to go back. What was the first one?
Uh, the first one. Hold on.
The
Top
first
5
one.
wildest moments. The first one was oh yeah, Green ejected. Now, where is he from?
I don't know, but he got ejected last time.
Yeah, he been put out. But about Green. Yeah, did y'all see what he said on the Breakfast Club a while back, about a year or two when Trump
Nah,
first got elected? Huh?
nah.
What he said when they asked him, he said, it's like, dude, he got on there and said that, yeah, us Democrats, we didn't do what we promised. We did nothing. It, I mean, it was almost like, yeah, why should y'all vote for us? We didn't do what we said we was gonna do anyway. So why would y'all vote for us? That was out of his own mouth. You have to pull it. You have to pull that clip up on it's the Breakfast Club when he was talking to Charlemagne. It's about a year, maybe a year ago or so.
Mm.
Right after the election of Trump.
It's more of them just they all can acknowledge that, but they ain't gonna do it. So
Yeah,
number
he
4,
said it. He said it out his
oh,
own mouth.
unintelligible. But he didn't say that though, did he? I
He
don't remember him
said
saying
that.
that.
He said it out his
No, I'm
own
talking about
mouth.
Trump. No. I know I'm talking about Trump right here. What they put on the screen.
So
Oh,
what?
yeah, this was the one with he was talking about Nancy Pelosi.
No,
They
go back
stood up
right here. He's
for
talking
that. I
about
can't
Omar
believe it.
right there.
Yeah, this the one he was talking about Omar right here.
In many
Yeah.
cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country. And you should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, this is the
Let's
sanctuary. Hold
also
on.
ensure
This
that
is the sanctuary cities that Sean was talking about, and so we going to address that. So, do y'all think that they are blocking the removal of citizens of
Yeah.
criminals?
Sanctuary cities?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you
So,
don't have to cooperate with the feds. You don't have to technically cooperate with the feds. Did you see that? You
do
see what
y'all
was
think
the
this is like a type of tyranny?
huh?
Can y'all see this as a type of tyranny?
But to what, the sanctuary cities?
Tyranny
With the
against the
same
U.S. government?
who?
Yeah.
From what, from the Democrats?
Yeah.
No, I don't see it that, because this is just politics. This ain't nothing new. So I'm not gonna say that
I think
because,
that it took it to another level.
well, I don't think that because
I haven't
see, you
seen
can't.
this in my lifetime.
No. You can't make that. If you've just started following politics and you haven't consistently followed politics from the inception of presidency, then it's hard to make that. You can't base it on a right now moment and say it right now moment. Especially
Oh,
like
you right.
like
But ever since Obama first ran, I haven't seen anything like this.
right like when Abraham Lincoln got elected, the whole South tried to secede from the North. Like,
That's what
wait a
I'm
minute.
talking about.
Like, wait a minute, hold up. But that's a whole see, they're not doing nothing
No,
like
this
that.
is the same thing.
No,
This
no,
is
no,
the
no, no,
same
no, no, no,
thing.
no, no, no. No, they elected a whole
No,
nother president.
they smarter than to do it like they did it last
No,
time.
they
Hold
can't
on.
do that.
I know it. They smarter than to do it like
No.
they did it last time, but they're still doing it.
Nah, not
They
to
doing
that
everything
capacity.
but going physical. They doing everything but going physical. They trying to slide it by a slicker way. They're doing the same thing.
Nah, this is different. This is not even comparative to what that during that portion. They elected a
This is how
whole
it starts.
new. They went
This
to
is how it
war,
starts.
huh?
No, this
Yeah,
is how it
but
starts.
nah, I'm
This is
not
the
gonna say
same
that.
this is the same mindset. Let's put it like that. This is the same mindset.
I mean, like I said, we can't take a
Let's
right
think
now
about it.
moment. Go ahead. We can't take a
Okay.
right now moment and say this is what it is because this is unless we've studied
But
politics
we've
and the
done it
presidency and
before.
how.
This is
Go ahead.
the same mindset.
Nah, this is a more because the same. Well, I think the difference is they're not trying to overthrow the government. They're not running up to the White
They
House or blowing up buildings and stuff of that nature.
didn't try to overthrow the government in the Confederacy. They just want to be separated from the
Oh
government.
no, they actually went to they actually went to war.
I know, but they didn't try to
They they they
overthrow the government. They
they,
went to
they,
war to be separate.
right. They attacked the armories and everything. I'm
Yeah,
talking
but
about what I'm talking
they did that so they can say, y'all allow us to be our own,
right.
right?
They
But
if
this
that
is what
was
they really, they just doing it different, bro. This is the same mindset.
nah, I don't think it's the same thing. Like I said, if we got to look at it is the is this
Last time it
consistent?
was black slaves, right? Last time it
That
was
was last
black
time it was
slaves.
what?
Black slaves.
Okay.
This time is what? Illegal immigrants.
Mm.
That's the new slave. Cheap
Nah, that's
labor.
no.
A voting state.
But the thing is, those people are illegal. We slaves were never illegal residents of this country. But like I
But
said,
they
we
want. Go ahead.
we got to look at history consistently. We've got to go through every part of for the last from 1776 up until this moment. Is this the even with the Civil War? Are we is even out of those that one time, and even if you want to fast forward to today, even out of those two times, that isn't consistency with America.
Fine.
That would be considered as consistency.
Fine. If you ask all these woke people that's out there protesting ICE right now, if they want to separate themselves from our current government, I guarantee they say yes.
Jason, let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
Same.
Cool reviews. When was you in the military?
I was in from '96 to 2000.
Okay, then. I was in the military. Let me tell you something. I was in the military when Ronald Reagan was president, right? I can remember when Bill Clinton got elected. And when Bill Clinton got elected, he had just succeeded Senior Bush. Everything was smooth. Everything was smooth. Ronald Reagan to Bush Senior. But when Bill Clinton got elected and he brought in that don't ask, don't tell, you talking about some bull crap. What people was acting when he brought in that don't ask, don't tell policy, man,
Bruh, it
them
was a
soldiers
dude.
was losing their mind about that don't ask, don't tell.
Man,
I'm talking went crazy.
we had this homeboy dog. Man, he used to kick with us like a mud dog. I mean, like, bruh, we used to do some things. We all used to. Then They lifted that Don't Ask, Don't Tell. That dude start putting on makeup, and
Man.
we came to figure out, man, this dude was on the rainbow. We're like, bro, all this time you was with women. All this time we kicking it, we doing all this stuff with women. And soon as they lifted Don't Ask, Don't Tell, now you got on makeup and
Man.
you have girl. I'm like, what
Man.
this man this whole time?
I'm talking, it was mad like it was wild. Like,
Wait a
even
minute, they lifted. Okay, so the Don't Ask, Don't Tell started when?
Clinton brought in Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
And that's what,
Because
92
when
to
I
what?
first joined the military,
2001.
you couldn't openly, you couldn't talk about you couldn't show it, or you couldn't even talk about that's what you was. But
They
Who lifted it?
they
huh?
had to lift it around 99, 2000.
No, it was earlier than that. Because Clinton got elected in 90. Clinton got elected in what? When did Clinton get elected?
92, what?
92.
What, 92?
Was it
Yeah, but
92
he had
Clinton
2
got
terms.
elected?
Yeah, he had 2
Yeah,
terms.
yeah. Clinton got elected in like the early 90s. So it's way
Yeah, but
before
he was in there till
96.
2000.
Huh?
He was in there till 2000.
Yeah.
When was Don't Ask, Don't Tell lifted?
Yeah, it came in 90.
Don't Ask, Don't Tell was officially lifted
Gotta be
on
2000.
September 20th, 2011. It was a policy.
No, not when it was removed. I'm talking about when they brought it in, when he brought it in, when he said, as long as you don't act, don't.
We got that.
We're hearing about back then.
No, we talking about when it was removed.
Oh, when it was removed? Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
That was under Obama.
Yeah, he said 2011,
Obama.
but I know around 99, that's when dudes start like outwardly being gay on the boat.
Right.
Yeah, you're totally right that a lot of social change was definitely happening before the official repeal in 2011. People were already starting to live more openly and push those boundaries in the late 90s, as you mentioned. It's interesting how
Right.
the culture shifts before the laws catch up. So, from your perspective, did you notice a big shift in attitudes around that time?
Oh yeah, it was a big
Oh
shift.
man, it was a big shift. It was
Yeah.
crazy shift. It was a man.
I can imagine.
And people thought, man, it was just wild the way soldiers reacted to Clinton.
Man, yeah, it was crazy. Man, this
So,
AI ain't no joke.
you saying it was wild? It was wild because he implemented Don't Ask, Don't
He
Tell.
implemented Don't Ask, Don't Tell, because at first it was you couldn't remotely say nothing about that type of lifestyle. But then it got to the point you can ask a soldier, was there, because you could ask them back then, are you yada yada yada. But then when he got in, he put that in, you can't even ask him that now. You can't even ask him that.
Why would that change anything? What was so drastic about it?
Well, because that gave them the you couldn't show let me use the correct word here. I want to say a prejudice towards them then. It was more receptive then. It became more receptive. Because at one point in time, it was you couldn't show nothing about that. No openly, outwardly, visibly, you couldn't show that. But once that Don't Ask, Don't Tell, then it became more receptive. That type of posture, that type of behavior, that type of look, you could be a little bit more open about it. Because at first it was, yeah, exactly. You just couldn't talk about it.
But you can be open because anybody asks you.
Right. You could be a little bit more open about it versus before then, that was a no-go.
Yeah, cause now I think, man, now men can wear women military clothes now. If you identify as a woman in the military, I think you can wear women clothes.
Wow. Oh wow. So a man in the military now, a soldier, he could wear a skirt in class A's.
In the military, to
Frederick.
are male identifying as women in the military allowed to wear a female uniforms?
Absolutely. So, as of recent
Oh
policies,
wow.
the
That's
Department
new.
of Defense allow transgender service members to wear the uniform that aligns with their gender identity. There have been specific instructions since around 2020 that cover how transgender individuals can transition while serving, which includes updating gender markers and their uniform standards. So, yeah, the policy does aim to let people live and serve in the gender that they identify with. How do you think that impacts the overall culture of the military these days?
Huh. I didn't know that. That's something new. But it makes sense.
Hold on, now I gotta ask. So
Welcome back, Frederick.
so when was that? What president issued that interplay where transgenders could now wear the uniform of choice? Under what president was that allowed?
So, from what I found, the policy that allowed transgender service members to wear the uniform that matches their identity was actually put into place during the Biden administration. And then later on, during Donald Trump's presidency, there were some efforts to reverse those policies. So, it was originally under President Biden that the inclusive uniform guidelines were established. And then we saw some back and forth after that. So, with that in mind, do you think these shifts in policy create more
Under old Joe Biden.
I
Well,
think a lot of stuff Biden did was a subset of what Obama
Obama started. Oh yeah.
kind of started. So that type of stuff.
And that's where like a lot of people get mad at me. I get called the coon word. But I'll be like, it really seems like Obama did more for the LBGT community than he did for black people. I can't really just touch one thing that Obama really did for black people. Now,
He
No,
said he couldn't do anything specific for black
but
people.
but a president can say you can't by law the president can't say I'm just gonna do something for black people or white people or something. You
No,
from a
that's no. That's
Go
what
ahead.
he said. Then he turned around and did it for the
No, 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 no,
Indians.
no, no, no. I'm not
Wait.
saying
And he did. No, you okay? Hold on. I know what you're saying. Okay, but why come you can be specific in every other minority group except race?
no. I'm not saying you don't do it. You can't verbally say that. You can't say
No,
I'm only
I
do.
know. I'm talking about verbally said. He verbally said it for them.
He verbally said what?
He verbally said he was doing this for white women. He verbally said he was doing this for the Indian
Nah, he didn't
Native
verbally say he was
Americans.
doing. He said he's doing what for white women.
He started his first thing he sounded loud was the Millie Ledbetter Act.
Nah.
Okay,
He didn't.
everything he did.
Did he
Nah,
say
come
he
on,
was
brother.
doing it for white women?
Yes. Okay. No. I don't know about that one, but I do know he
Yeah,
verbally said.
nah, you can't do
I
that.
don't know about that one.
Yeah,
But I know, but I do know he verbally said he did this for Native Americans, and he did this for the LGBT community. He was very, very specific. He said out his mouth.
he said what?
So
That he
why come he can't say he? And all these are supposed to be in marginalized communities. So why he can't say the same thing for the black community?
wait a
At
minute.
first, I used to be another side of this argument. I used to be like, nah, he just can't come out and say it. But then you turn around, you can do it for everybody else. You supposed to be able to do it specifically for what the issue is at.
What?
big cultural change like that?
But the thing is, with the LGBT community, that could be. I could see the difference in that because that could be the LBG could be a white man, a white woman, a black man, a black woman. That could be that could be everybody. That could be everybody. That could be a black man. That could be a black woman. That could be a white woman. That could be a white man. That could be a Hispanic man.
Okay.
That could be
Why come
all of
Trump can
them.
do it then? Why come Trump can do it?
I didn't hear you.
Trump can do it?
Trump
Why come
Trump can do
Trump
what?
and say it?
He said what?
He said that they're going to. He said that um, the natural citizenship, the birthright rights, birthright citizenship was specifically for African American descendants of slaves.
That
You see what I'm saying?
no. He said what again? I didn't say that again.
He said that the birthright citizenship law was specifically for African American descendants of slaves.
But the thing, but you gotta look at the law. Does it say specifically for blacks? See, if you got
Back then,
it's
you
like
didn't have to say it.
it's like the
Kind
13th
of
and
like
14th.
the Asian hate bill.
Abused by people that he wasn't designed for. Now you have to say it.
No. It's like the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. They were for those are the Reconstruction, Constitutional Reconstruction Amendments. Everybody knows they were for blacks, but it don't say blacks. They've got a Supreme Court case where Supreme Court Justice Taffney Slaughterhouse, I forgot the actual name of it, but it's a Supreme Court case on file for Supreme Court case with a meat company in New Orleans, Louisiana, where they tried to use it, and the Supreme Court Justice said no. These amendments are strictly for black people. You can't use these amendments. You can't use the matter of fact, Freeman. They're for Freeman. The Supreme Court Justice name is Freeman Miller. That's his name. Freeman Miller. It's a Supreme Court file. It's a Supreme Court case. Freeman Miller is his name. Samuel Mellon, Freeman Miller, something like that. Freeman is his last name.
Man, so with the now I know we was talking about the State of the Union, but which president in y'all lifetime has actually did the most for black people?
In our lifetime,
Yeah.
none of them. None of them.
Well, you got to wait. It depends on how you look at it. Now, if you go by what you just said, they can't say they doing something specific for black people.
Right. They can't say that.
That argument gonna always be open. People, it's always up for debate because of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of that right there, people can always argue that this president ain't done nothing for black people, that president ain't done nothing for black people. You see what I'm saying? That argument gonna always be available because they're not allowed to say, hey, this is for black people.
Right.
Under
So
what
it
president?
almost don't do no good even argue that point. No, and
It
no
sounds
point.
like you're about to ask which president was involved in a particular policy. So feel free to jump in and let me know which policy you're thinking of, and we can dive into it together.
Under what president did black people do the best under economically?
Ooh, that's a really great question and kind of a tricky one because it depends on what factors you're looking at. I mean, some people might point to the economic rise in the 1990s under Bill Clinton, and then others may look at gains during other eras. So it really depends on what you're measuring. But I'm curious, what kind of factors are you interested in when you think of economic success?
As the like when it comes to small businesses or the family income, the average medium income of black families were the best under which president?
So looking at the data, it seems like median household income for black families really varies across different time spans, and there's not a single president who stands out as still
Hey, cool reviews.
Census data shows that
Cool reviews. Oh, it's still
Yeah.
talking. No, go ahead. It's still talking.
Absolutely.
I was gonna ask it under which president.
That small business ownership, home ownership.
All right, go ahead. I'm listening.
I thought it was talking. Still talk. Under what president was the gap closed as far as the medium household incomes between whites and blacks? At what president was that gap? Did that gap shrink? Did that gap collapse as far as where was the best influence as far as closing the gap between black wealth and white wealth? The financial gap.
Back, Frederick.
Under what president was the financial gap between Black Americans and white Americans closed?
So it's quite interesting. Actually, the racial wealth gap between Blacks and white Americans has been a long-standing issue and hasn't really fully closed under any particular president.
Wow.
While there was some narrowing of the gap, especially between the 1950s and the 1970s, progress has kind of stalled out since then. Even recently, that ratio is still about 6-1 in terms of average per capita wealth. So it's really been a persistent issue across multiple administrations. But yeah, let me know if there's a specific angle.
See,
See
you heard,
that gap ain't even closed. See, that gap has remained the same.
but see, this goes to what Dr. Claude Anderson was saying. This thing said around the 50s and 60s.
Right.
That's when. Now, after the civil rights movement, after the women's liberation movement, and all the movements, we haven't moved one iota. If
That
anything,
gap-
we may have went backwards.
Right. The gap is still remained. The gap is still in place as the same.
So that said, coming out of slavery when we was less educated, when we had less resources, we closed the wealth gap. And it's only gotten bigger the more educated our women get. I mean, my bad. The more educated that the more educated and resources we've gotten our hands on, we haven't closed the wealth gap at all.
Hey.
We may have went backwards. Make that make
Hey,
sense.
cool, Reggie.
Huh?
Hey, what's up, Reggie?
What's going on?
Hey, cool,
Go on,
Reggie
brother.
coming from the business, boy.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
But listen, but I mean, don't you do? See, when you say what president is that? That's why I say ain't none of them. The wealth gap ain't closed. It ain't closed.
But now
It's almost 100 years. It's almost 100 years.
But if we gonna be honest, if we was doing better coming out of slavery, is it the president's fault or is it ours? Because we had more when we had less.
You about to start an argument now.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna start an argument now.
So
Because
whose fault is it that we haven't progressed since the 60s?
no.
We progressed.
I do think that there are certain barriers that were put in place.
What barriers were put in place?
Like federal FHA, redlining,
Womanism.
okay, discrimination. You
Oh my
know,
God.
Breaking up on black
Jim Crow. You got to realize Jim Crow was still very well alive in the 60s. Jim Crow
When did Jim Crow start?
Oh man, like the 30s. I don't know exactly when.
Look it up.
I don't know when Jim Crow started. But it started right around that once they got rid of once they freed the slaves. So it's probably
19. Oh, it says 1870.
Yeah, 18. Yeah, right around the time they freed the slaves.
Now, if Jim Crow was there back then, and we excelled the way we did straight out of slavery, then how can we blame Jim Crow or anything on Jim Crow?
You can't omit that.
I'm just saying, I ain't saying it didn't affect us at all, but I can't you blame anything on Jim Crow, bro.
You can't omit that because that's gonna stop progression.
Do y'all think the civil rights movement hurt us or helped us? Which one did to us more?
I think the civil rights movement, people of color didn't ask for the right thing.
What are people of color? That's
Did it help us or hurt us?
Yeah, that term, I don't like that term, people of color. That's a new term, and that's broadening. That's putting too many people in the pot. You know?
Well, I'm
I agree.
using it.
I agree.
For the sake of this conversation, I'm using it very loosely and
Okay.
lazy. Just
because
just to just to advance the conversation. Because when I say people of color, we all know what I'm talking about, and just to move the conversation.
No, we do, but I'm saying it could. But now
That's the
it's
problem
being
with
used.
NAACP.
Say what
it's being
now?
it's being used to include Somalians and Puerto Ricans and
humpbacks,
But
yeah, all
but
kind of
but
Negroes,
people.
but
As
handicap,
long as your skin
cats
is
and
brown,
dogs.
everybody
but
jumping into the
but
pot.
the thing is, the laws have always been structured to do that. Like Claude Anderson said,
That's
when you made those laws, everybody is jumping in on those laws now. Those civil rights laws.
And black people getting left behind because of that.
I agree.
because
I
who?
totally
What does Claude
agree.
Anderson say? Who is civil? What country does civil come from? Civil includes white women, cats, dogs, whales, transgenders, everything. We needed black rights, not civil,
Right.
not
So
urban.
that's so.
That's what
So
I'm
back to
saying.
my question.
Yeah, civil rights was very harmful because of that. Because everybody
Yeah.
can jump on the back of civil.
It it
It jump started even with the LGBTQ coming in and jumping on the backs of civil rights because now they feel like, hey, if black people feel as though, hey, they being discriminated against, hey, us and black people, we got the same plight. We should join together. Now what you
right.
see today is you got black people joining hands, lock hand and step with homosexuals, as if that's the same thing. And they believe
Identity
that today,
politics.
which is a problem. So I understand the what tried to transpire because of the civil rights movement, but eventually what it's led us to has been
Oh,
a
yeah.
negative impact because of that.
All
If
right.
he would
We
have
back.
stuck with black people, great. But he didn't do that. Now you got all kind of weirdos coming in being like, hey, it's our turn now. And let's hop over black people. They had their chance. Now we're gonna use what they started and we're gonna get what they never got.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Because identity politics cuts the pie into a lot of different slices. See, as long as like black, we need just one pie for black. But what the Democratic Party do is cut that black pie into 50 different pieces. That way we could never actually get what we want. Because soon as Ice Cube come to the table with a contract for black Americans, black women gonna say, but what about black women? Then the LBG gonna say, well, what about us? Then you know the immigrants, well, what about us? Instead of, but I will say, even though the civil rights movement was a failure, a lot of them was young dudes, far younger than us, that thought they were
Okay.
doing the right thing. So
And
I
see
do
that.
praise because they were young. I think they had the right mind. It just they was fighting for the wrong thing. So I do give them grace because them cats was like in their 30s, 20s, and 30s.
What did Martin Luther King say in that church in that interview right before he was killed?
But yeah,
I
that's
feel
when he started.
when he quoted James Baldwin, Jimmy Baldwin. He
He
said,
said,
"I
"I
feel
feel
like
like
I've integrated my people into a burning house."
yeah,"
You know,
but that's when he
because
started to get older.
right when
Yeah,
he only died in his 30s, but he started
yeah,
to understand. He started getting more understanding of what was going on.
yeah,
And even if you go back and look at that interview, he pretty much said, I messed up.
yeah.
I asked for the wrong thing. These people aren't," and he said it. I think he said it exactly like that. These people, they different. Like I can't. These people aren't gonna give us, man. So
Well,
The
what
problem
happened was, oh, go ahead, you got it.
the problem with MLK and all the civil rights leaders of that time, their main issue was they aligned themselves with the wrong people. They aligned themselves with white liberals, and because of that, if you align yourself with these people, you have to align yourself with their ideals, and their ideals don't align with what we would typically find in black culture. We don't live the same type of lifestyle that the white liberal does. But if you're going to take their money, if you're going to walk the party line that they do, you have to toe the line and agree with whatever they had come up with as far as lifestyle choices, everything. You have to align yourself. Think of one mainstream Democrat, black liberal, whatever you want to call them. Think of what they talk about. And also look at what they won't say anything about. Will you hear Roland Martin say anything about LGBTQ or immigrants? No, he's pro these things. He's pro matriarchy because the white liberal tells him to do that. What's the guy named Raphael Warnock? Same thing. All the black preachers who are on the Democratic line, they won't say anything negative about these people, even though they themselves really truly don't believe in it, but they can't go against it. So dating all the way back to MLK, before he got enlightened, he realized that I've gotten into the bed with the devil. And because of that, they'll throw you some breadcrumbs and think that they're actually on your side. But when it comes down to it, everything that you align yourself with these people will eventually destroy your people, which is why they have pretty much brainwashed black people, especially black women, into thinking that abortion is okay. And that it's now it's a good thing because women have autonomy over their bodies. When in reality, when you look at the representation of what abortion came from, it was to take away the black population. But now today, it's looked at as a celebration of women. But realistically, who was the founder of
Margaret Stringer,
Margaret
Margaret
Sanger?
Stringer.
Look at her. Look at her history. People won't read. People will not look at history, and because they won't, we continue to repeat and do the evil bidding of these people from the very beginning. We can't get out of it. We can't get out of our own way, and that's the problem.
It's funny you say that, Outlet, because I was thinking about that earlier today. I said, man, most people I know that's champion this little liberal democratic operation, if you pull them to the side, you know, like Tim over here commenting right now, if you pull them to the side and just really ask them one question at a time, most of them gonna be more conservative. Indeed,
Well,
you pull this nonsense right now, but you put him to the side, asking him a question, you will see he don't support half his nonsense in his personal views.
well, I don't see no politician, white, black, male, female, Christian, Jewish, Muslim. I don't see him a proponent for us. None of them. And history says that. That history, I'm speaking from a historical standpoint and not a feeling or emotional or experience standpoint. History, I mean, just look at slavery. They introduced a whole new form. Go ahead.
Is part of that our fault?
In what aspect?
I'm just asking you, is any part of that our
I
fault?
mean, because I think it's like being in the military. See, even I stand on the side like Malcolm X when he after the Mecca visit. His ideology changed. It went from separation to hey, we've got to work together, and we might have to incorporate. We've got to
Come here.
incorporate the white people into this process. This is the only way we're going to get out of this. It's like being in the military. The first thing they do if you're captured, they're going to divide you. They're gonna create separation. They're not gonna because they know if you unified, you become a stronger element, a stronger unit if you're all one versus I got this group over here fighting for this and this group fighting for that. Hey, let's put that stuff aside right now. We've got one main enemy, one common goal right now. Because here in America, I look at it from a caste system, CASTE, over it's the haves versus the have-nots. And once we understand that we've got to put this, you black, I'm white, to the side, and we unify, we can get more traction. We can get more traction and more and succeed, be more successful in the process of what we're trying to achieve.
Mute my mic, man. My mic ain't working. I can't
Man,
mute
no,
myself.
you spitting. Man, it just it's man, I ain't gonna hold you, man. It looked like the Democratic Party took over the black family. Uh man, I'm probably my whole deal is the greatest weapon in a white man's army been a black woman. Uh he found a way to indoctrinate the black woman to the point where she would rather follow him than us. When we look at the breakdown of the black family, because I look at all the races of people, all the races of especially non-Americans, non-white people, all of them had the opportunity to pick the government over their families. The black women was the only race of women that did it.
But do you I agree with that to a certain degree, but do you know how they was able to infiltrate it and be more solidified the agenda that they were trying to achieve?
I think they even saw that during slavery, that they saw that the black woman would abandon they man for certain advantages.
I think they achieved were able to fast move that mission, that agenda, and that process a lot more effectively and faster. I think they were able to from my lens and what I see, I think they were able to move it through religion. And because if you look up George Bush and look how much money he gave the church. I think he gave him something like $10 billion or something like that. But along with that, he stripped the church of its essence as far as a leadership role, a proponent for social issues. We don't have the leaders. We don't have any, so to speak, religious leaders like we did back then, like a Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. Those people that were in the forefront. I think Bush
But
passed that bill. See if you can find that where Bush gave all
well,
that churches all that
you talk
money.
about the faith-based initiative, but even
What?
when we look at the faith-based initiative, but even when we look in Dallas alone, uh, uh, it's a church in Dallas, big mega church in Dallas. The pastor is really cool with George Bush. He's one of the few pastors that got that money from George Bush, and he has all kind of programs that are damn near free because my daughters used them. Uh, a lot of the black preachers that got money from George Bush, they actually tried to help the black community.
But
I would
but but but
say
but
the
what comes with
pastors.
that? But what comes with that? But if you look at that initiative and you look at the policy with it, you were muted on certain things you could and couldn't speak on. Read that initiative and it'll outline that in an initiative. It kind of muted you from being vocal against certain things. So yeah, I'll like, that goes back to what you all are saying. I'll give you women free clothing, free electric bills, or whatever the case. But in the process, I'm buying some silence in that process. It talks the bill is it identifies exactly the do's and do nots in that. I think he gave him like billions. He gave the church how many billions of dollars?
I don't know how many, but it seemed like when the churches that actually helped destroy the black community was actually the ones that the Democrats ran through.
Right.
The
Absolutely.
not the Republicans, but the Democrats, because
Absolutely.
that's when them churches became mega churches. We went from family churches to mega churches. We went from preaching about God to racism and
Hey,
uh politics, and money and prosperity. That's when the black
Gabe,
men started to leave
come
the
on, let me
church.
up.
because
I
that's
mean,
when the women start to fall in love with the pastor because he started
right.
preaching money and politics over fire and brimstone. Uh,
Yeah.
then they start letting Tyler Perry come in the church and do his thing to the women, and that's what a lot of they like you said religion. Yes, they figured out that they can separate the black man and the black women, and one way was through religion, and it worked. And now they rather follow the Democratic Party and they pastor. I think Freddie Haynes is somebody is running for office now.
He is.
Wait,
Like
turn my mic on.
your mic on, you good?
Okay. Yeah, you said Freddie Haynes running for office?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
Does,
is.
does anybody have a computer or extra
It's
thing by their side where they can look up how much money Bush allocated to that church initiative program?
Yeah. Hold on one second. I ask. But yeah, I saw with for commercial.
Welcome back, Frederick.
How much money did George Bush allocate to the churches through his faith-based initiative?
So, under George W. Bush, his faith-based initiatives ended up channeling more than $2.2 billion in grants to faith-based
See,
organizations by
I'm buying
President.
silence.
The goal was really to make it easier for these groups to compete for federal funding alongside secular organizations. So it's a pretty substantial amount, and it definitely sparked a lot of discussion at the time. I'm curious if you had anything specific in mind about how those funds were used.
Were churches made to be silent about social issues if they were to take that money from the faith-based initiative or take some of those grants? Were they silenced on social issues?
That's a really interesting angle. So actually, those faith-based initiatives didn't include any kind of requirement that churches had to stay quiet on social issues. In other words, they could still speak out on whatever social or political topics they wanted to. The funding was more about providing services like social programs rather than changing what they could preach or talk about. So yeah, definitely no gag order there. Let me know if there's anything else you.
It's some verbiage in that because I've read that documentation. I would have to go back and look at it.
Okay.
Hmm.
You know, even under Obama when he was trying to force churches to make same-sex marriages. And all these black people ran out and vote for Obama. Ooh. And just when I look at the Democrats, like you said, when I look at Christianity, it it, it really helped tear the black woman apart from the black community. And I really feel like that's that's where shit went downhill. I know it's the crack, the drug epidemic, welfare, and stuff like that. But I just feel
Whatever happened
like,
to separation of church and state?
yeah, yeah.
Church and state.
I guess when you a preacher, you can run for office now. Oh, both. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it used to be a thing, but I guess it's not a thing anymore.
Okay. All right, I'm back.
Okay. Do you
But y'all
believe
you
that?
didn't answer my question.
Huh?
I'm still want to know. Well, one of y'all answered it. Uh, did the civil rights movement hurt us or help us?
I mean, from a long run, but like Cool Review said, I don't. They were younger guys. They didn't understand the agenda, the bigger agenda behind what they were doing. So I don't think it was. I don't think it was the. In, I don't think the intent was bad.
I I look at what's her name? The old lady in California.
Maxine Waters.
Is that, yeah, I think that's her.
Oh, black lady. Yeah,
Uh,
Maxine.
yeah, she still come with that same old tired
What is that comment? I can't see that comment. What that comment say?
All money not good money. It's some government
Grant.
grants that's not a favor for popular social issues. Read the revelation will not be funded.
Okay. I can
Tyran
agree.
Eddington.
I can agree with that.
That's your kid, folks, ain't it?
Yeah,
Coach
that's my brother.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the civil rights movement, man, yeah, it screwed us because what it did was it took our biggest and brightest and we integrated over to them. Our smart people, our inventors, we went over there instead of stay where we was at and build up our own community. We said, you know what, we'll go integrate with them, and then they took our best and they built from us to where every hood, every dang there, I always be seeing it where a lot of the poor, impoverished black areas used to be real nice and thriving areas, like middle class, upper middle class people. But after we integrated, our actually communities went to shit. Integration really fucked us. So looking back at it, yeah, it was a mistake. We lost our families, we lost our businesses, everything. Them white women, shit, they kept their husbands and their families together. We didn't do the same thing.
I think the biggest negative effect.
Your mic echoing, Jason.
I'm echoing.
Nah, he good on my end.
It
Sound
was.
like it was echo.
He good
Okay.
now.
Yeah, you good now.
I think the biggest negative effect that it had on us is it it created a victim mindset that we can't shake up. We can't shake it no more.
Okay.
Okay, it trained us to be victims. And we was not like that before the civil rights movement. And so once you train to be a victim, your mind it won't function the same anymore. Like the productivity level, it goes down because you go into the blame game when something don't go your way, or you see victimization in places where it don't even exist
And everything.
in
Well,
everything.
I'm
And I
not
think
gonna
that,
say.
I think that
I,
was
well,
I
well,
think that was initiated by the civil rights movement, and it was cultivated by the civil rights movement.
no, 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 no. No, you can't say that. There's too many Supreme Court There's too many Supreme Court cases where it shows that systematic racism is still being applied. You got You can't dismiss Supreme Court cases, the land of the law. You cannot. There's too many Supreme Court cases that says this is intentionally and systematically done. You can't dismiss that.
You
You
believe this?
you
This
can't, so you're gonna say that and say victim mindset, but we got Supreme Court cases that substantiate that reality of certain things. Now, am I saying do I agree with you in certain aspects? Absolutely, certain aspects, there's things that are a victim mindset. I totally agree with you. But as long as you got Supreme Court the civil
this
rights movement that identify these barriers, how can you argue that and still say it's only everything? How can you argue and say nothing's a victim? Is nothing? None of it is a reality. It's just a victim mindset. Then these Supreme Court cases wouldn't
Sean,
be real.
you
Sean, I
you
ain't never
believe
said that we ain't never been victims. I'm saying 7 out of every 10 things that Negroes complain about, they playing victim.
Well,
7 out of every 10 things ain't even real.
well,
Ain't
my
nobody
thing,
victimizing you.
but
7
my
out of
thing
10.
is, but if you look at how you initially presented that, that's not how you presented it. That's what.
No, all I said was
That's
it's a
what.
victim mindset.
That's what.
Sean, listen.
Excuse me. I drank
Listen.
some water. Water went down the wrong way. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you
I
good.
apologize. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you play victim, if you call victims 10 times and 7 out of 10 times you were not a victim, that's a victim mindset.
Jason, I hear what you're saying. You're right. But we have Supreme Court cases that say
You
everything is
got
not a
3
victim.
Supreme Court cases.
No. You got what?
You got
You
3
got what?
Supreme Court cases.
No. What are you
3
talking about?
Supreme
Three.
Court cases.
Three Supreme Court cases.
You missing my point. Just because you find 1, 2, or 3 Supreme
No.
Court cases that substantiate
No.
racism
But
or
you
discrimination don't
but it,
mean that that these niggas ain't running around here with victim mindset.
hold on, time out. You say that, but Jim Crow was one system. That's
Well,
one
okay.
system. So one systematic rule or legislation put in place can impact a whole group of people. One system put in place can impact the totality of a whole group of people. This
What,
one
This
implemented
right here.
rule and legislation.
what's
See,
the
this the type of talk they got these niggas running around here thinking they right by playing victim on everything.
what's the definition of systemic racism? What, like the real definition of it?
When you putting something in place and it's only affecting, it's creating an oppressive barrier for this one group of people. I don't care if the group is male, female, black, or whatever. You know, when you're putting in a system, just when you putting in a system of oppression to oppress, and you this group of people and this bias towards this one group in a negative impact, that's what I call it.
So let me ask you, and I agree with that definition. So do you believe that that's happening like in 2026? Is or it what? Well, I'll say this: what group is being oppressed in present day?
Well, you can't say you have to look at actual. It's not always identified in that moment. Sometimes it's identified 20 years later. Sometimes just look, and I say that because look at the Tuskegee Airmen. They didn't find that out until how many years later, what they were doing to them men. So sometimes you don't identify it in that immediate moment. It's identified 20, 30, 40 years later, 5 years later, or 5 months later. It's not always identified in that present moment.
I won't disagree with that. But so with that being said, would it be fair to say in the current moment, if it's not, if you can't identify it in that present moment, is it fair to say that that you can call it out as that's what's happening now if you can't substantiate that?
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no.
Okay. But currently, like as a collective black
Uh-huh.
people, just as us, collected as a group of
Right,
black
right,
people,
right, right, right.
do you see anywhere or can you identify anything that would look to be close to being oppressive? Like what is it that's holding? I guess what is it that's holding us back
It's like
by
they
law?
had it's like they had a Senate hearing meeting. I watch a lot of those Senate hearing meetings. Like I watch them like people watch football games. They had a mayor in I want to say DC. Don't quote me on where she was. It was a black mayor, female mayor, and they was having a hearing, and they asked her, you're putting up they were putting up those cameras, those traffic cameras. That, you know, if you're catching, you're doing, I guess you're speeding, running red lights, whatever. But and the mayor was a female black mayor. She was a black woman. And the senator asked her, "Yeah, y'all putting up these cameras. Yeah, you're gonna get more tickets in the black community for every one camera you're putting up in this white rural area. You're putting up 20 in the urban black community area. Why is that? You know, so I looked and he called her out on it. Like that's a problem. That is a problem. So why are you targeting just black people? And this is a white senator asking a black female that. She couldn't answer it. Even he's calling it out like, why? That's something is wrong with that. I have a problem with that. This is what he's communicating to her. I have a problem with that.
Well, if that part is true, like I don't have that information
Right,
available.
right.
I guess just to play devil's advocate to that, I would probably say like, what's the information behind it? There's always a science behind why things are happening, why things are put here, why certain, like okay, I'll give a comparison. In some black neighborhoods, you won't see a Sprouts, you won't see, home Whole Foods and things like that.
Right.
Certain stores won't be put up in certain areas of neighborhood. The next question you have to ask before you jump to the conclusion of being racism or anything like that is why, right? So I always want to know the why behind it. I don't know if that area is because of, maybe there's a lot of people blowing through traffic lights and hitting people or potentially causing accidents. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like and I'm not saying that that's the reason why they're doing it. It could be that this could be a scenario
But
being oppressive and things like that. I'm not sure, but I'm always willing to look at all the facts and look at the why before I jump
See,
straight into, hey, this is the white neighborhoods only got this many, but we got this many, and then automatically assume
right.
that there's something nefarious going on with that. But because I don't know.
okay, see, Reggie, and now you see how you did that. Now this is what I'm talking about. Now this is what a person that does not have a victim mindset. That's how they approach things. But if you got a victim mindset, you're gonna automatically think that they're being discriminatory by putting more of them in the black community than in the white community.
But like Reggie said, you gotta why? I agree with Reggie. Why? And that's what the senator asked her. That's what he asked her, and she didn't have a response to the why. I agree
She
100%
probably
with you
did.
what you said.
She probably
Huh?
didn't, but somebody probably did.
No. But
See,
she's the mayor. Hold on. She's the mayor.
it don't matter. It don't
Don't mean
matter.
she's
She's
They
qualified.
don't know.
no. I'm not saying she's qualified. No. I didn't say she's qualified, but she has the authority of where and what they do, where they do and don't go. The authority is hers. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not. It's
That
not a matter
don't
of
matter. It don't
qualifications.
matter.
Yes, it is. It's a matter of who has the authority to say yay or nay, and she has that authority.
Right, but that don't mean she know why they got more of them over there.
But if you're going to a Senate hearing meeting,
No,
you're you're
she can find it out though. After somebody bring it up, then she can go do the research and she can tell the people to bring her the information as to why they got more over there.
that seems like the thing of I'll do it and ask for I'll ask for forgiveness after the fact. I'll
No,
do it
because a lot
now
of
and
times
ask for
you can be a
forgiveness
mayor.
after I
No,
do it. Huh?
no. A lot of times you can be a mayor or any type of governor, whatever. You got people in place to take care of those things. And like, so you're gonna go by how it's presented to you. Hey, they just present to her. We need to put traffic lights in these high risk areas, and then they're gonna be like, "That makes sense to me as a mayor." You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, I
But
give y'all the green light.
but
Now wait,
Jason,
I
go
give
ahead.
y'all the green light. But wait a minute, brother.
Go ahead.
Okay, so boom. She didn't get no details. I mean, it makes sense. So then that's why you got the council meetings for. So old boy balled it up. Wait a minute. Why is there so many here? Okay. Now she don't know because she ain't never thought about that part. Now she got to go back to her people and ask the question that you raised.
Uh, I,
That
that
makes
that
that don't that make sense?
Nah, that's nah, that don't make sense to me. Because
Oh,
and
no,
I'm gonna tell you why it don't make
come
sense to
on, man.
me. I'm gonna tell you
You
why it
trying to
don't make
tell that
sense to me.
rest?
I'm gonna tell you why it don't make sense to me. Because
Okay, tell me.
you are she's the one in front of that Senate hearing committee. Nobody, the person, say what?
Oh shit.
The person, she's the one sitting in front of them people. She's the one answering those questions. So when I looked to her left and her right, it was nobody to her left and her right. And at the end of the day, oh, there go your friend, Jason. At the end of the day, it was her that they're holding it's her that they're holding accountable for why those cameras are there. And
Now,
you can't come to this.
It's always gonna be hurt.
Yeah. So to dismiss. So you're trying to dismiss. I totally agree with Reggie as far as the why. I totally agree with that
You
because
don't
you
agree with
should be
Reggie.
asking why.
You're not
But
agreeing with Reggie.
no, I absolutely agreeing with Reggie. I'm not agreeing with what you're saying, but I'm agreeing to Reggie. I'm agreeing with Reggie.
Reggie.
Yes, I am agreeing with Reggie. How you gonna tell Reggie? Do it sounds like I'm agreeing with you or not?
It sounds like he's you're
I'm
agreeing with me.
agreeing with Reggie. I totally understand what Reggie is saying.
I agree with Reggie. I agree with
You
Reggie
know,
too.
you're saying
He's telling me, you trying to tell me just because a person is a mayor of a city, they automatically know every detail before how many of y'all putting in the black community before I say yes.
Jason.
Come on, bro. These people don't think like that.
Jason.
They don't think like that, bro.
Okay, Jason. How many Senate hearing meetings have you watched? How many have you watched? Now answer my question. Answer my question.
I show you on this show.
Answer my question. I don't want to hear that. Jason, how many times have I showed you on this show? Don't bring up nothing in the past because you don't want to debate me one-on-one. So let's stop doing that. Let's stop with that. How many Senate hearing meetings have you watched? How many Senate meetings have you watched? Tim, does it sound like he's watched the Senate hearing meeting? Tim, does it sound like he's watched the Senate hearing meeting? Tim, does it sound like he's watched the Senate hearing meeting? Tim, does it sound like he's watched the Senate hearing meeting? Tim, does it sound like he's watched the Senate hearing meeting? Does it sound like he's watched the Senate hearing meeting? Because when I watch those meetings, all them people you saying that they should know, they ain't there. It's just that person. All them people you talking about they should know, it ain't there. And they're holding that person that they're asking those questions to accountable. They're holding them accountable. So all that this person, because they're not getting up there and saying, we're going to give you an excuse because you don't know everything. That's not how it works, my brother. That's not reality. That's the victim mindset. That's not reality at all, what you're saying. Because I've never seen that in a Senate hearing meeting.
All right, so now it's your turn. Do you have a rebuttal to what he said?
Cool review.
Yeah.
This is why I want to debate him. This is why I said.
Okay.
This is why I said it has to be a formal setting where he only get to talk for 2 minutes. Then the moderator let me know when I can talk for 2 minutes and all this stuff. Because he's gonna try to overtalk you and all that kind of stuff. This is why I didn't want to debate him unless we had a formal setting with a moderator.
But he giving you an opportunity to speak. He giving you the opportunity to speak now, so go ahead and speak.
I don't know why he's talking to Cool Reviews. Cool Reviews asked him about a rebuttal. He talking about something else. Jason, you don't want this. Jason, you don't want this smoke and no debate. You really don't want this smoke. You don't want this smoke.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't want this smoke.
All right, Jason, go ahead.
Can I go uninterrupted?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talking to Cool Reviews.
There you go.
Talking right now, look.
No, his mic is mute. His mic is muted. It's all you.
Keep that motherfucker muted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now look. Now you got to be a fool to think that these people are sitting here saying Oh, when they come to us and when they come to agreement that hey, we need some, they run these lights, we have too many accidents, or you know, because you know that's how they're gonna spin it. They ain't gonna say, oh, we need to make more money. You know, they might say that behind closed doors. We need to make more money. We can put up traffic lights. Okay, but now they got to tell the public why they doing it, whatever. Oh, we been too many accidents. So we got to put up these traffic lights, holding people accountable. All right, they're gonna bring that to the mayor, right? And the mayor's gonna say, you know what, that's a great idea. We need to safe streets. All right, yes, let's do it. How many traffic lights we need? Y'all come back and let me know how many we need. Y'all come back with the numbers on what it's gonna cost us. This is what leaders do. It don't matter how many damn council things you done watch. You can watch 1,000,000 of them motherfuckers. I know how it works for leadership in government, or
You
what
just-
you call it, mayor or whatever, right? So it don't matter how many damn bus cars you done watch. At the end of the day, this is how that works. Now they gonna come back with the numbers, and then the person in charge gonna hit the green light on it. Now it ain't for somebody come back like you said, a person in the meeting did at the council meeting and complain like, hey, this looks like discrimination. Why come there's more cameras in the black community than there is a white suburban community? Okay, now the mayor can say, hey, y'all bring me the information. Let me know. Let's look at. We're gonna look into that. We're gonna see why it's more. Okay. Now it's up to somebody else. It's up to the people that put the cameras out and came up with that made the decision to put those cameras in certain places. Like Reggie said, you gotta look further into it, and they might come back with the guidance. Hey, this is the most where we're having the most of the accidents at. So we had to concentrate the budget where we're putting these cameras at based on the most needed areas, based on the data. Okay, that's how it works. It don't matter how many damn
Man, turn my mic on. Turn my mic on. Turn my mic on.
No,
Turn my
Sean, let
mic
him
on.
talk. Sean, your
He been
mic
talking for
on.
10 minutes. Turn my mic on.
Your mic is on.
Y'all see that?
Just
Okay.
quiet for a second.
Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Jason, you don't know what the hell you talking about because that's not how it works. You don't know what the hell you talking about. You got to be just like, I don't know if you directed that food comment to me. I'm going to direct it the same way you directed. If it was indirect or direct, you got to be a bigger fool to think it goes that way that you're saying. That's not how it works. So all of that, a leader, because yes, it's easy to go back after the fact and do that, to say that. But when you're doing those Senate hearing committees, you already have the dialogue of what you're there to discuss. So it ain't like that they're ambitioning you with something you didn't know that was going to be discussed. When they send you there, you know what the dialogue is and what's going to be discussed at that meeting. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just gonna tell you, let him finish, man, because what he's saying, he trying to say you have that victim mentality. That's not a victim mentality. That's reality. Reality is people put stuff in places where they feel the most crime or where they can find the most money. You can do all you can have all the people, all your mayors is going to send people out into the community and tell them, hey, how's this? How's that? How's this? And then they're going to come back to the mayor and say, this is what's going on. The mayor already has the information by the time he gets back to the city county meeting. So it ain't no surprise. Like Sean said, it ain't no surprise about what they talking about. They already know.
Let me ask
and there are people out there who put stuff just for black folks. And if you think they ain't, something wrong with you. There's always going to be a narrative to fit that group of people, whether it be black, whether it be white, whether it be Hispanic, it don't even matter. Whatever they doing on purpose. It ain't an accident. It's on purpose.
Let me ask a question. So So the remember was it Whitelow? We were talking about examples of oppressiveness, towards black people in current today. And that's what we was talking about, the traffic lights and things like that. So we can stay on that. So do you feel do you feel that this is something oppressive because of that situation, to where in a particular black neighborhood there was more traffic lights than it was in like a white neighborhood? And
I,
because the mayor couldn't answer, what was how did you take that once you
well,
heard the
well,
mayor?
like you said, Reggie, I agree with the why part. If she'd have answered the why part, then you could, and it's substantial. But you don't. What is your justification for doing it, Mayor?
Because she didn't but because she didn't answer it, how do you feel about it now?
Well, it tells me why. Why are you doing it? I came away from with the same impact that senator who is questioning her. He didn't outrightly said it. He didn't outright say you're just doing this because they're black, but he said it
Yeah,
based
That's
on
what
the way he was
yeah, he's
communicating
saying
to her.
right. That's the
He
that's
way.
what he
said it.
said.
Yeah, that's the way he's framed. This is the white guy,
Yeah,
right? Framed it.
Yeah.
and I can and I concur that
Okay.
because like you said, I'm asking you why. You're not giving me no legitimate reason why you're doing it. So you're leaving it up to me now. I kind of agree with Jason. Well, hell, and Tim both. Is it a victim thing or what is it? What is the reason why? What
Well,
is your reasoning why?
my first thought, honestly, my first thought would be, if I heard this and I didn't have any of the facts or details or nothing, my first thought would go to, okay, they putting all these traffic cameras up because it's a lot of, it's probably a lot of crashes, a lot of people running through, blowing through school zone. I don't know. That would be my first thing, and they want to try to catch people who are doing these things, and this is the only way you can catch them. And then if I was given information that another place in the city, they didn't have as many traffic lights as this one to catch them, I'm like, okay, in that particular area, they're not having the same problems as this area. That's my
Right.
first thought. Even
But
if
Re-
they didn't have the answer,
Thank you.
anything like that.
but
Thank
but
you.
Reggie,
Because
Until
but
it's
people have
Reg,
a victim
proven that that's
mindset.
not the
That's
case,
why you gonna
that's
be
Reggie,
your
what I'm
first
going to.
thought.
Reggie.
So if you got a
If if
victim mindset, that
if
wouldn't have been your first thought.
if I put 100 cameras in your
Come on,
community
bro.
and 10 cameras in this other community, which community is going to have the most accidents? You're going to see.
Of course, you're going to see the one with the most cameras.
Right.
So if I put more of course you're gonna see more accidents over here because you got more measures in place to catch more accidents.
But that's after the fact. Understand, when they install these cameras and things like that, it's because they already have data that's showing, hey, we have a high level of accidents going on here. You got people calling in saying, hey, these people are flying down our neighborhoods. They going crazy. I witnessed this just the other day. I was in I was going to DeSoto, and all of a sudden they had these they had never been there before, but they had the police radar things to incur people from speeding, because the people in the neighborhoods who live near the streets were calling in to the police and to the city council saying, hey, these people are blowing down Westmoreland and blowing down Pleasant Run, and hey man, we need something to stop this, to bring people, to show them you can't go 60 miles per hour down this street, even though there's no traffic lights. So what they did was they started putting those police things there. So when
Right,
you
right.
start going, it's to stop you from speeding. So my thing is, prior to that even happening, they already have the information needed in order to implement that into the neighborhoods. That's where I come with it.
But but what was incorporated into that? It was a money thing. You're trying to already oppress a people that are in a marginal not so wealthy community, and he framed it as you're just doing this to get more money out of these people. That's the only reason you're doing this. And her response was, No, yeah. It just wouldn't, for somebody doing it under the conditions and what you're explaining, which is very logical, which is a very logical aspect to look at it from. That's not how she explained it.
Right. She probably didn't. She didn't have the answer, and that's why I said, like, even if she didn't have the answer, me being a logical human being, I'm not going to rely on anybody else to kind of. I mean, they can kind of sway my opinion based upon the leadership if I hear and it makes sense to me. But then I can use my own kind of like, okay, like, well, why is this happening? Okay, I can see the other side. For me, and it could be, I could be wrong. It could be a money grab. It could be a money grab to get money from people who are in this particular community. To me, I don't understand why that would be the case. You could get money from everybody else. Why only target these people? It wouldn't. That doesn't make sense to me. But
Because
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying
Right,
how
right,
I would
right.
go about looking at it first until I'm proven wrong.
E-
That's
Well,
Exactly.
what if that other area is a more populated area than the areas where there are less cameras or less traffic cameras? If that's a more populated area, won't you get more money from it?
You would. But
Yes.
again, that would also, but then that would have to go back to what I'm saying. If I could look at the data and find out that these people are exactly having the same amount of problems as the other community, but they're not having the same kind of consequences, then I would be 100% on your side and saying like, okay, we have a problem here because hey, these people are also having traffic accidents, blowing through traffic lights. People are calling in about it, and nothing is happening. But you want to do it to this one. Now we have something to match it with, and where we can make I think a better come to a better conclusion based upon all the information that we have.
So let me ask you a question, Reggie. I was sitting there listening to y'all talk, have y'all discussions, and one of the things you said was about is there systemic racism? Do you believe that there is systemic racism?
Do I believe there's systemic racism in 2026?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Okay. But why would you not think that there's systemic racism today if there's still racists today?
Well, I mean, you can't get of racist people, but race. I'll frame it this way. My racist neighbor. If I have a racist neighbor, he cannot like me because he's racist. He don't like me because I'm black. But he has no way of preventing me from doing anything in my day to day life. So
That's not
I can't stop him from being racist, but he can't stop me. So that's why that's how.
okay. So using that analogy, me and Sean, we have discussions on a regular. I mean, we don't agree on stuff, but we have conversations. So I will agree with some of the things he says, or we'll do research to come up with an understanding about something. Um, and that's iron sharpening iron. But we had a discussion. I looked at a Senate hearing one day, and they were talking about internet. Man, I ain't pay no attention to that damn shit. I said, "That's internet. Why you having a Senate hearing about internet?" Okay, Sean came back the other day and said, "Hey Tim, did you hear about digital redlining?" Man, I ain't never heard about no damn digital redlining. He said, "Go research it." So I researched it. Do you know digital redlining is systemic racism? Today, 2026. They don't have to do the things that people think like, oh, I'm going out here and I'm gonna call you the N-word and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. They're systemically breaking us down by lack of education. And let me explain that to you because you live in Dallas, or I'm assuming you live in the Dallas area.
Yeah.
Does Westlake have the same thing that Carter High has, or whatever that? What's the other school up there?
South
What's
Oak
the
Cliff,
black
Carter High,
South
whatever.
Oakland? Do they have the same monies going to each school?
Of course not.
Do they have the same internet going to each school?
No.
Right. That is systemic racism. That is done on purpose.
That's not systemic racism.
Yeah, it is done on purpose. So you don't have the same education ability that somebody else has. That's systemic racism.
Everyone isn't gonna have the same educational ability. All schools are not gonna have the same resources.
Why not?
I mean, that's just not even possible.
Why not? Why not?
My phone's about to die.
number
Jason,
one,
don't you leave my phone. Hold on real quick, Reggie. Hold on real quick. I want to fuss at Jason. Me and Jason gonna fuss, but he's still my dude. I gotta go try to find me a charger. He get on my nerves. I've been dealing with that man for 20 some years. So I don't want y'all to walk away from this as if me and him don't like each other. So he gonna call me tomorrow and I'm gonna call him and talk bad to him and we gonna kiss and we gonna be all right. But my phone finna die. I gotta go find a charger. So if I don't go get back on, that's what I want to say. But go ahead. I gotta go find a charger.
Yeah, so we actually it's going up on 10:30 and I gotta get ready for bed. So yeah, we'll let y'all get y'all last points out and we got a dip.
Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, but Reggie, I mean, two reviews. If Sean want to have a formal debate where
I ain't fooling with you. I ain't fooling with you. You told me you would be. I ain't fooling with you.
Look,
I'm with it.
here. Hey,
Reggie, go look up.
Hurry
go
up,
look
Jason.
up
My phone about to die. Hurry up.
Go look up
My phone about to die.
I got four things that Sean refused to concede on, and I presented my proof.
Don't concede. Look, this is what I know. Tim, Reggie, and Cool Reviews. If you put biased information into a machine, it's gonna give you biased information out of the machine.
That's what you're gonna get.
So input biased information, output is biased information. But hey,
y'all already trying to discredit my sources. Y'all see what's going on, right?
Red. Go look up digital redlining, and then you can tell me about it on our next what's called. It's real, brother.
I can tell you all about it at our debate.
It's real.
I can tell you all about it at our debate.
You can tell us what?
I can tell you all about digital redlining at our debate.
Go right.
I want to set up the debate.
But you know what? You'll never learn nothing from it. You know why? Because you don't want to learn nothing.
Who?
You want to be a victim.
Boy, man.
You
Lord. You're right. You're right. I want to be a victim. Since I was born in 1965, I got the right to be a victim. Since you was born in 1982, you don't know what victim is. You don't know what victim mentality is. Everything was handed to you. I don't know nothing about that. Reggie, look it up, man.
They didn't start making common sense.
In 1975, they didn't have. In 1975, they had already got rid of Jim Crow. So go sit down somewhere.
In August,
Reggie,
in August 1974,
look it up, brother.
God was still handing out
I'll
common
look up
sense.
digital redlining. I'll look it up.
Yes, sir. And then when you finish, it ain't about victim mentality. It's about knowledge. That's what it's about.
Victim mentality.
Victim mentality is woe is me. Woe is me. That's a victim mentality. I ain't got no woe is me in me. Nowhere. Ain't no woe is me.
You do. And you got
okay.
You got hate in you. You can't get your things straight because you got tongue derangement syndrome.
You know what I hate? I don't hate anybody, but you know what I dislike? I dislike that.
Welcome to the Cool Reviews. Step into the scene where the voices stay loud and the vibe stay clean. Talking sports, love, life, what's making the news. If it's happening right now, it's on the Cool Reviews. Welcome to the Cool Reviews. Yeah, we bringing the truth.